Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Christmas Clatter. It's March. I've been away for a while, a much needed break to kind of refresh and recharge. I'm in my temporary recording studio, aka the dining room. Brand new Christmas cave is under construction, and hopefully in a few weeks we'll be able to return to a more studio space with better lighting and audio and such. But just had to get back to the road to Christmas 2022. It's going to be a great year in store. I have a great episode for you guys today. This is one that I recorded back in November, but did not get out in a timely manner. As many of you know, I don't want to keep harping on it, but I got COVID pretty hard. My wife got it pretty hard. It hit my family terribly hard. And it just took a little bit to bounce back from it, and then just kind of needed a break. Make sure we all had our legs under us and things. But, that's what it is. So let's get on to it. Let's start thinking about Christmas a little bit. Got lots of great stuff in store for Christmas Clatter this year here on the podcast and on the YouTube channel. So be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. And today I talked to author Nat Bickel on her children's book, The Christmas Clue. Joining him here on Christmas Clatter is the author of a new children's book, The Christmas Clue. Nat Bickel joins me. Nat, thanks so much for hopping on here with me.
Hi, Todd. Thank you so much for having me. First off, I just want to say, as a fellow Christmas year-long fanatic and elf at heart, I'm just so grateful to be here.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I know you're true in that because I see your name pop up all over social media and stuff and things. So, but we'll talk more about that later. But I believe this may be the first children's book I've had on the podcast. So,
oh wow, I feel so special.
Yeah, it was really cool. I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to let you in on a secret today. I had, of course, my kids had the day off school today, and have a 8-year-old little girl, and my 9-year-old niece came over today because I happened to be off work, and I watched her. So I gave them this to read, and I said, I'll buy you McDonald's if you give me a book review on this. And they were tickled pink, and they really enjoyed it. They liked it quite a bit.
That is so fun.
Yeah. It was funny. I wish I had that recorded of them trying to give me their thoughts on it. But this is a really sweet book. A lot of creators I asked kind of the same question. That's where did the idea of this book come from, and where did it all start?
Yes. Okay. So this book is really two of my biggest passions, writing and Christmas. So I have a background in journalism and article writing. I've also written a young adult novel, and writing is just a super creative outlet for me. So I decided I was going to write a children's book because Christmas had been top of mind for me. We had just celebrated, and my family has a very special tradition that I've realized is not super common among a lot of friends or family I know. And so both of my parents are really great at fostering Christmas magic every single year, especially when I was younger. And my dad in particular is highly creative. It's probably where I get it from. And he would stay up Christmas Eve writing all of these clues and making a scavenger hunt for our last Christmas present. So he would be hiding them while we were sleeping. He'd hide them outside on lampposts, in cookie jars, in our bedrooms, in our Christmas village. And so on Christmas morning, we would wake up and open all of our presents, and then there'd be an envelope in the tree with our names on it. And the first clue was in there. So we would race around the house trying to find the next clue and the next clue leading to the last present. And so the reason I wrote this book was to really honor that tradition for my dad, just because I know he put so much work into it and it was just so special to me and my brother. So I really wanted it to live on and for other people to experience it, maybe who haven't experienced the real magic of Christmas before, or maybe who have lost that childlike sense of wonder around the season. And it kind of aligns with your podcast mission of keeping Christmas hope alive all year round.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does.
Mhm.
I enjoyed this book so much because it just was it just reminded me a lot of my Christmases. You know,
Mm.
a lot of people don't play a lot of these games and stuff like that. You
Yes.
know, but it is commonplace. You know, with my mom and me for them to happen, and you just really capture that spirit. You know, quite a bit,
Mm.
and it's just like I knew exactly what was going on. You know, with the the thoughts and the feelings of Ryan and Natalie in the book, and the racing around and stuff. And the thing I liked about it uh,
Mhm.
was it focused on the feeling of the hunt and not like the prize at the end. You know,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. And
and
that speaks to my childhood too, because I think my brother and I just loved racing around and being so excited with our family more than the gift. Like, I don't even remember most of the last presents I got on Christmas, but I definitely remember having so much fun as a family.
right, right. We we've done the scavenger hunts in the house before, and we've
Hmm.
also done when we got older. We did some where you had to drive around town.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, yeah, and, you know, my mom would go around to people she knew and we knew and leave clues, like, in the yard or
That
with
is so
them and stuff.
cute.
Yeah, and we'd be dr racing around town and trying to find these
Hmm.
clues just to end up back at her house and stuff, so, yeah. But, yeah, this book is kinda it's one of those that, like I said, it focuses more on the experience of Christmas and not the gifts, which, you know, gives us that true meaning of Christmas, and that's real important, especially for uh, kids who's you're targeting here to really see and to realize it's kind of about those experiences more than anything.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. Is there any other Christmas traditions besides this that stood out for you when you were growing up?
Oh my goodness, yes. My family is so big on traditions. So one in particular that we did every year was we'd make Spritz cookies. Are you familiar with Spritz cookies?
I'm not familiar with the name. I bet if you describe them, they might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like a sugar cookie, kind of like a shortbread cookie, and you put them in this like, oh, what's it called? It's like a cookie press,
Uh huh.
and there's all these different shapes that
Yep.
come out of it.
Uh huh. I know what
Um,
you're talking about now. Yes.
yes.
Mhm.
And I always like coated them in sprinkles where there's like more sprinkles than cookies. That's the way they taste best to me.
Right.
But the tradition around that is whenever the dough was ready, we would know because my dad would like push his fingers into it and make a brain shape. And then he would smooth it back out and like put a crack in it and it would be a baby's bottom and one of us would have to snack it. Really weird.
That's no. That's not weird at all. That's perfectly normal. Sound like we kinda grew up in the same household around Christmas time.
And then what else? We had a birthday cake for Jesus every year.
Uh-huh.
So after our traditional Christmas lunch of like ham, potatoes, green beans, and crescent rolls, we'd have this chocolate cake and sing happy birthday to Jesus, and then like fan the candle out and say that the Holy Spirit blew it out. Let's see. We also slept by the Christmas tree one night in December. Not Christmas Eve because that's when Santa comes,
Right.
but another night. Oh, we had this advent calendar that was kind of like a felt board where there were like these little like stuffed animal nativity scene animals and people, and
Uh-huh.
we'd velcro them up, and then every year my brother and I on Christmas Day would each take one of Jesus's little hands and put him in the manger. One year he couldn't come home, and so we actually FaceTimed and did it. Let's see what else. We do all of this while listening to like Amy Grant Christmas music.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big staple in my family.
Oh, yeah. I've always said that, Amy Grant's Christmas album, especially that not sure if it was her first one, but the one that came out like 92 with
Hmm.
her next to that white birch tree
Oh yes.
is one of the most underrated Christmas albums of all time. It's a
Yeah,
spectacular album.
it's so good.
Yes, it is. It is. It's
Yeah.
got one of my favorite versions of "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas" on there, and
Hmm.
it is great. Yeah, yeah. Yep. We grew up in the same house. It sounds like, but yeah, that's the kind of the silliness and things that would go on in our house. One of the things I've talked about it a little bit before is on Christmas when we go to mom and dad's, she buys um, me and my wife and our 4 kids each a Hallmark ornament, and she buys
Hmm.
my sister and her 2 girls a Hallmark ornament, and anybody else that happens to show up, we always have a big group, and she has this great big 20, not 20, like 12-foot tall Christmas tree in the
I was
living
gonna say
room.
24-foot tree.
Oh, yeah,
Whoa.
no, it's only like 12-foot, and she'll hide those ornaments on there. So you just get the box and you unwrap it, and it's just the empty box, and then you have to go find the ornament on the tree
Oh,
or
that's fun.
or in the tree. And so you have, this group of people going around this tree trying to find, you know, this Hallmark ornament. And she's like, "We're not doing anything else till everybody finds their ornament." And
That is so funny.
yeah, it's mayhem for a minute anyway. And
Oh, I'm
uh,
sure. I'm surprised ornaments don't get broken.
they don't. We're careful. We're careful enough, but she's gotten to where she would start like having to write down where she left them because she'd forget, you know. But then
Yes.
her clues weren't that great, so it was, you know, it was a little
Yes.
bit. It's kind of comical. There's only one year where we had to like give up and find the ornament when we were taking down the tree because it's just like we couldn't find it. It was like an hour and something went by and we couldn't find it. We're like, we can't do it anymore,
Oh
And
my gosh.
yeah,
That sounds like my grandma. She always gives us like money within gifts. And
uh-huh.
so a lot of times when you open a present, it's like one of her household items. Like she'll put like beans in there or like a picture from their wall and you're like, okay, where's the money, because you know that's not your present. And
Uh,
then at the end she'll be like, okay, wait, how much money did everyone get? And someone is always missing like a $50 bill, and so we have to pull out all the wrapping paper, all the boxes, go back through it all.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
There's always money in the banana stand, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, but oh yeah, that is great. It's I'm not a writer like you. I struggle to write a good sentence, and
Mm.
if it wasn't for like Grammarly and stuff like that, I would struggle. But this was really kind of you know inspirational for me to kind of write down some of these memories just to keep them,
Yeah.
to keep them for myself or to pass them down and um, to remember, because this remembering, and passing down these traditions, it's really kind of been on my mind lately. I came home the other day and my wife's like, she told our little girl, she's like, "Go get that book you read to me and read it to me." And I was like, what book? And it was called the uh, Remembering Balloons, and it was a children's book that came out a couple of years ago, and
Mm.
it's about memories and passing down memories and stuff. And so that's kind
Hmm.
of this the Christmas clue here really what kind of is in that vein of you know remembering the traditions and the times that you had, and you captured it really well, and in a format, like I said, that the kids can enjoy, that parents can read aloud. That I had a 8-year-old, 9-year-old read it. My 8-year-old, she kind of needed a boost here and there, but she was able to get it,
Yeah.
and stuff. But it was really really great. But I see,
Yeah.
I see to kind of change the subject a little bit. So you signed up for the Christmas Clatter Christmas Puzzle Exchange. So,
I did. I already sent my puzzle out. I'm so excited. It glows in the dark and everything.
oh, nice. Well, don't say who you got it. We want it to be a
No,
complete
I
surprise.
won't.
We want to be a complete surprise. But oh man, I don't think you were a part of it last year, best I remember. But
Nope.
it's a good time. It's a good time, especially people put the cards and stuff in there if they do that, and get this puzzle out of the blue from somewhere out of the blue. It's a lot of fun. But,
Yeah, I remember putting puzzles together with my grandparents, and especially one of my grandmothers. She always had like 1,000-piece puzzles and all these tiny pieces. And so it just kind of made me think about that. And I was like, I would like to feel that way again. Like I haven't done a puzzle in so long. Why not?
Yeah. Oh
Why
yeah.
not get a surprise one?
Oh yeah. Well,
Hmm.
yeah. You need to do a puzzle, especially that week between Christmas and New Year's
Yes.
when you have the house is still decorated, but kind of all the busyness is
Hmm.
going. And,
Yes.
and here's the trick: is you put the puzzle on the table, on the kitchen table or the dining room table, wherever you leave it there, and then you don't turn on the TV, and you just turn on, like, there used to be this playlist when it was Google Play Music, but now it's YouTube Music,
Mm.
called Cozy Christmas.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like all the crooners and stuff, and it's just
Mm.
so it's like a complete detox and de-stress, after the holidays,
Yes.
and
That
it's
sounds
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that kind of music.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
It is wonderful. It just captures the mood just right, and when you're sitting there, it's just something about a puzzle makes your brain work different
Hmm.
than it's
Yeah.
used to, and it's kind of nice because it kind of, I guess, it kind of shuts everything else down a little bit and gets your
Yes.
focus off. But so, do you have any more Christmas books in store?
Well, you never know. I am writing all the time. So I've written several articles that have been published, and I've written a young adult novel. So I'm waiting for that one to hopefully be published.
Oh, nice.
But children's books, I don't have another one coming up yet. This one took a lot of effort going back through all of my dad's clues because I've actually saved them throughout the
Mhm.
years. So I had to go back through and read them all and figure out, okay, which ones would be the beginning, the middle, the end, which ones do I
Uh-huh.
like of my brothers, which ones could I make universally like connect with children, because a lot of them he personalized for us with
Right.
like things that we were into at the time. So I know I was highly into Hillary Duff. So there are some clues talking about Lizzie McGuire and that show. So couldn't use those. It
Uh,
would date the book pretty bad.
uh, I don't know. Seems to me like that taken if you had them all, even your brothers, it seems like there would be a way to publish all of them and make something out of
Mm,
it. 'Cause that just sounds to me. I want to sit just when you're talking about it, it's like I want to sit down and read all these clues just to see what
yes.
they're all about.
I
You
have
know?
one I can read
Oh
you.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
did dig up an old envelope, so
That's cool.
here's kind of what they look like.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'll read you this one. You have found a way to keep your mind so sharp. You have found the clues without using your harp. It's impressive indeed, as a harp can be useful in finding these clues, but simply reading the words can be useful too. Your next one is hidden on a picture again, where some Croatia roses and stone are captured within. So he's very clever. He's really
Oh
good
yeah,
at it.
yeah. He's just
So
not pop. Yeah,
I
he's just
tried to match his rhyming structure with my book, but he's really clever.
yeah. I noticed you had the rhymes in there, but yeah, it's not like he was just popping them clues out, a few hours before you guys got up or anything. That
No,
took some time.
yes, that took a lot of thinking. And I think also I also brought another book here. I
Uh-huh.
think this book also inspired mine. I
Uh-huh.
used to read it every year at Christmas, and it's actually like a seek and find. So you're finding different
Uh-huh.
items within the whole book. There's the 12 Days of Christmas here that you're trying to find.
Oh
It's a giant book. You can't even see it all. But yeah, I think this also kind of inspired mine, because it's just got to find the things
oh
and
yeah,
search and hunt.
oh yeah. Well,
Yes.
there's a lot to that, where you just you could make the search and find and stuff really speak volumes about what Christmas is, and
Hmm.
people using Christmas and the holiday as time to find themselves and reflect upon themselves and that. But it's just great that your dad took so much time
Hmm.
to do that for you and
Yes.
your brother and made it a thing. And um, do you still do the scavenger hunt every Christmas?
Yes. And now, so my brother and I are both married now, and our spouses are involved as well. So my dad's making like 4 sets of clues. And I think our spouses have more of a love-hate relationship with it because
Yeah.
they didn't grow up with it. And you have to like read it aloud to everybody and then go find it. But I still love it. So It's great. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, whenever I told my dad about this book, he didn't realize how much this tradition had impacted me and my brother. Like
Mhm.
he cried when I told him, and I did not expect that. He was just like, I was just being goofy and fun. Like you just never know what's gonna stick with your kids and like what's gonna mean more than you think it will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had something similar like that here a few years ago. My mom and dad were talking about like they're like we need a cut back on Christmas and not spend as much money and stuff, which is fine. I don't care if they spend any money on me,
Yeah.
at all. And mom's like, I think we're gonna not do stockings this year because they would always find these like little crazy whatnot things that you would never think
Yeah.
of and put in it's like stuff you wouldn't even think about buying or using or anything, and they'd put in there, but they were always so neat and helpful and useful. And me she told me that, and I said, "No." I said, "Don't buy me anything to unwrap, but if you're gonna do something, at least get me a stocking still. The stocking is the best part." And
Yeah.
she started laughing. She's like, "That's exactly what your sister said." Like, yeah, don't
Siblings are in sync with these traditions.
yeah, it's like, I always look forward to that stocking just to see what little I don't know how they do it every year, but they find, like, these
Yeah.
little I don't even know what to call them, just little gadgets and stuff that are,
Mhm.
they're like $3,
Yeah.
at the on an end cap somewhere, and you never see them, but they end up being really cool and useful, but, yeah, it's kinda the same thing. It's like, don't stop. It just
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, my brother is really he's very much into traditions. I think more so than me.
Uh-huh.
The first year that I was married, I had moved out, and my brother would always come into town because he lives out of town. So he would come into town for Christmas, and the first year I was married, he called me and he was like, "So you're gonna spend the night at mom and dad's on Christmas Eve, right? So we can wake up and like do all of our traditions." And I was like, "I'm married now. I'm gonna celebrate Christmas with my husband first, and then I'll be over." Like he did
Yeah.
not like the change. He's so big into
Oh,
following our
yeah.
traditions.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I get that.
Hmm.
I can be a little bit, a stickler like that too, where it's like, but I understand that, man, especially him being out of town. I'm sure it really, when he
Yes.
comes home, he really wants to really soak it up while he's there and stuff. So,
Hmm.
but that's
Yeah.
great. That's great. Well, I really appreciate you hopping on here and going over the Christmas clue with me. I hope this um, book does well for you. I want to encourage each and every person to go out and pick up a copy. There's a links to where you can buy the book in the show notes and description. So you'll just be a tap away. It's available now wherever great books are sold. And Nat, where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, I'm on all social media channels at Natmosphere, and that's spelled Natmosfear. And then the Amazon link to my book is also in my Instagram bio.
Awesome. And all her socials will be in the show notes and description as well. So you guys can follow her uh, as well. And make sure you drop a hint that we need another Christmas book sometime soon. So
Yes.
because this was really great, and then I really look forward to uh, anything else you put out. I just really liked your writing style. It was fantastic. And
Thank you. I
and
really hope when people read it, they just feel the magic of Christmas that I
yeah.
felt growing up.
Oh yeah. You painted a picture well. I read it a few times, and it was like the first time through it was like I could see it all happening as it unfolded. It really got the Christmas feels going and in the atmosphere, and it was quite enjoyable and quite a sweet story, and you should be very proud of it. You've done very, very well on it, and it'll be worth everybody's time to go out and grab a copy for sure.
Thank you so much, Todd.
Well, thank you. Christmas Clatter is a very merry media production, and as always, keep Christmas hope alive every day.